This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Your favorite local grocery stores like Kroger, Ralph's, Fred Meyer, and more are now delivering on Uber Eats. Get 40% off your order of fresh, quality ingredients. Whether you just got home to an empty fridge or suddenly got a craving to whip up something new, you can get everything you need delivered in as little as 25 minutes. Get 40% off your order with code Kroger2026. Plus, members get $0 delivery fees. Order now on Uber Eats. Orders of $30 or more save up to $25. Ends 4/30/26. See app for details.
Swae Lee Post Malone, Take My Heart. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Reviews Season 12. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. We're back. All right, we're back. I've done a couple of re-uploads. We kind of, lost a little track with the Yeet stuff, but we're finally back on track. And we got some very exciting album reviews coming up. And I know I keep saying album reviews, but I'm slowly pumping them out. I will be honest with you, my rollout's been kind of slow. But, there's just a lot of music to actually talk about. And today we got Swae Lee and Post Malone. I've been waiting for this song. It's been announced on Twitter. I checked out the post. I knew it was coming out this week. And, basically, other than the albums that I got to check out, I'm going to be honest with you, Swae Lee is kind of the only one that really drops fucking music. I mean, it's looking a little bit of a rough week. But let's get into the song. We got Swae Lee, Post Malone on this one, Take My Heart. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Starting off with the beat. My only problem with this beat, I like the chords. I like the melodies. I even like it when it goes into the beat. The beat finally drops. The 808s get going. The trap beat gets going. But my only problem with this beat is that it's very slow to get into. I kind of wish we would speed things up a little bit. I'm kind of just waiting and waiting and waiting for this beat to finally drop. I feel like, for this being almost a 4-minute song, could have made the beat drop a little bit more in the song. I feel like it's so spread out, so spaced out that you're just kind of left wanting more, in my opinion. I really wish it was a lot better because I'm just kind of waiting for the fucking beat to drop. I wish it would hurry it up. I don't understand, when artists have such really good-ass beats and they barely fucking use them. We use some reverb, we use some echo in the beginning, and we just kind of use that for the whole entire song. It's cool having background vocals and all this type of stuff, but when there's no beat to it, it's just kind of like a build-up thing. It's a build-up, and I'm waiting for that build-up to finally finish and finally fucking drop.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't predict the future, but it can help you feel confident about future hires. Because Hiring Pro combines real-time insights and candidate data from the LinkedIn network with the criteria you've set for your role to deliver you a list of top-fit candidates. Businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
But I feel like it's a little bit too spaced out. Kind of feels like a Drake song. A Drake song will be 6 minutes long. And the first 4 minutes is going to be some of the most slowest shit to ever get into. And then those final couple of minutes actually really hit. So it's kind of the same thing in my opinion. I just wish it was a little bit better. I'd say Swae Lee's vocals are pretty okay. There is some moments that I don't like some of the background vocals, in my opinion, don't really sound that good. And I think when you do put, this alien auto-tune over your voice, sometimes it can get a little bit annoying to listen to. But I will say, overall, the melodic vocals from Swae Lee weren't bad at all. Pretty much enjoyed them. Is it anything, groundbreaking? Is it anything where I'm like, holy shit, this sounds fucking great? No, because I feel like the melodic rapping is okay at best. I feel like we could have had more vocal switch-ups. Maybe, more delivery-wise on the vocals. I feel like that's kind of lacking. I feel like we're just kind of hiding, behind the auto-tune, hiding behind the ad-libs. And, when I'm listening to songs, I really just kind of want the artist to, fucking sing, fucking rap. Do whatever you're going to fucking do. Don't hide behind the instrumental. I feel like that's just kind of lazy in my opinion. And there's a little bit too much of that going on this song. But I will say, when you have Swae Lee, hiding behind his background vocals and shit, and then Post Malone comes in, it's really a hell of a difference in my opinion. And you just hear that with the vocal delivery, with the confidence of the vocal delivery just coming from Post Malone alone, which we're about to talk about next. But Swae Lee's vocals, I feel like, could be a lot better in my opinion, but they're okay. It gets the job done. I just wish, in my opinion, it was a little bit better. Now let's get into Post Malone. Post Malone, I will say, did have my favorite verse on this song. Post Malone's flow is really good. The vocal delivery was definitely on point. The singing from Post Malone was definitely really good. And the cool thing, too, he's been doing that country shit for so long that I kind of forgot that Post Malone can, flow on these type of beats. I've been used to hearing him fucking sing on some fucking country instrumental. This is definitely a good breath of fresh air. Sounds really good in my opinion too. Flow wise, this is probably my favorite Post Malone verse in 2026 so far. So that's a pretty cool thing to already have for Post Malone. But I will say, I really wish there was more Post Malone, because when you get into Swae Lee's verse is just kind of lacking a flow switch. He's lacking that delivery in my opinion, but Post Malone completely kills it. And I also like too, he has his own little variation of the hook. I feel like it's a pretty cool thing. Post Malone usually does have a version of the hook for himself, and this is one of those cases where we definitely have it. Overall, when we talk about Swae Lee, Post Malone, Take My Heart, this instrumental is really good. I love this beat. I love those 808s. I just wish, it would be a lot better, a lot faster to get into. I feel like I'm waiting for that beat drop a little bit too much. Swae Lee's vocals are just kind of okay. I wish they were a little bit better too, but Post Malone definitely have my favorite verse on here. So overall, I will easily give this song a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, guys. What y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. We're dropping new content every single day. And get ready. We're definitely back. We got a lot of content coming out for this week. We got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We got a lot of stuff coming out. Some album reviews that I definitely do want to get done, so I'll definitely get to work on that. And I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Yeah, guys. Bye.